worked 2 jobs, took care of everyone, but one day I was told, "You are a burden," so I left. When the factory shut down, debt piled up, and the only solution was in my name, they finally understood that silence is also an answer. The night I was called a burden, I was standing in the kitchen still wearing my steel-toe boots. My back hurt the way it does after 16 straight hours of work. The kind of pain you learn to hide because no one's paying you to complain. My mother didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. She said it calmly, like she was stating a final truth. "We can't keep carrying you anymore. You've become a burden." My father nodded, staring at the unpaid bills spread across the table like a losing hand of cards. I didn't argue. I didn't say I was working 2 jobs. I didn't say I hadn't bought myself new clothes in years. I didn't remind them that half those bills were in my name because when they asked, I had put my credit on the line without hesitation. I picked up my jacket, my phone charger, and an old photo of myself standing in front of the brick factory where my father used to work. Then I stepped into the cold Ohio night and didn't look back. Back then my life ran on alarms and time clocks. I punched in at the warehouse before sunrise, stacking pallets until my hands went numb. In the evenings I flipped burgers at a diner off Route 6 until closing time. Places like that always feel the same. Managers call you buddy when they need you and forget your name when they don't. Every paycheck was already gone before it hit my account. Electricity, the mortgage, my dad's medications, my mom's dental bill, they kept saying could wait but never did. When my car started coughing out smoke, I switched to the bus. When my knee swelled up, I wrapped it tight and kept moving. In America, you learn early that pain doesn't stop the clock and bills don't care how tired you are. After I left home, I slept on a friend's couch for a week, then rented a small room above a closed-down bar. The landlord didn't ask questions. He just wanted cash every Friday. The place was quiet in a way I wasn't used to. The silence felt loud at first, but it was clean. No one asking what else I could give. No one reminding me I wasn't enough. For the first time in years, whatever little I had was mine. 3 months later, the factory shut down. The same one in that old photo. The one my father always said would never fall because it had survived recessions, floods, and bad owners. It didn't survive the new ones. The kind who smile, promise upgrades, and quietly strip everything from the inside. Overnight, the town felt hollow. Men stood outside the locked gates holding cups of coffee they didn't drink, staring like someone might unlock the doors by mistake. My father came home early that day, his hands shaking, his face gray. The severance barely covered a month. The mortgage didn't care. The bank didn't care. The hospital cared least of all. That's when my phone started lighting up again. "Hello," my mother said when I finally answered one call, her voice softer than I remembered. "We just need to talk." I didn't respond right away. Not because I wanted revenge in that moment, but because I didn't know what to say without breaking something inside myself. I kept working. I picked up extra shifts. I focused on paying down my own debts first, the ones I had quietly taken on over the years. Credit cards. A small personal loan I'd signed when my father said, "It's temporary, I promise." Temporary is a word that follows you for years. Then a letter came from the bank addressed to me. It wasn't a mistake. Years earlier, when I'd co-signed, an emergency clause had been placed under my name. If the primary holder defaulted, decision authority passed to me. I remembered the day I signed it. My mother had made coffee. My father had rested a hand on my shoulder. "Your family," he'd said. "We trust you. Trust feels different after you've been called a burden." They came to see me on a Sunday. My father looked smaller than I remembered. My mother kept smoothing her coat like it was wrinkled, as if keeping her hands busy might fix everything. "We're going to lose the house," she said. "The factory is gone. The debt is everywhere. The lawyer says the only clean solution runs through you." I let the words hang in the air. The fan rattled above us. Somewhere downstairs, a radio played an old country song about second chances and starting over. Finally, my father looked at me. "We need you." I thought about all those mornings I left before dawn so they could sleep. The nights I came home smelling like grease and metal and still asked how their day had been. I thought about the word burden, how it lands and stays. I didn't yell. I didn't smile either. "I'll help," I said, and I watched relief spread across the room too fast, too easily. "But not the way you think." I met with the lawyer alone. I didn't twist anything. I didn't cheat. I used what already existed. The solution placed the house into a trust under my control, protected from the worst of the debt with clear conditions. Fair ones. Transparent ones. I made sure my father's medical bills were covered. I set up a small monthly allowance, not luxury, just stability. And for the first time I made sure I wasn't invisible anymore. When they understood what it meant, my mother cried. My father got angry. He said I was punishing them. I told him punishment is loud. This was quiet. This was making sure the same thing never happened again. I helped sell what needed to be sold. I drove my father to job interviews. I filled out forms my mother didn't understand. I didn't move back in. Kept my room. Kept my life. At the diner, the manager finally learned my name. At the warehouse, a guy put in a good word for me and I moved to a better shift. It wasn't a miracle. Just steps taken one at a time. Months later, my phone rang late one night. It was my mother. I understand now, she said. You weren't being cold. You were being careful. I sat on my bed listening to the city breathe. It took me a long time to learn, I said. When I hung up, I didn't feel victorious. I felt steady, like someone who had finally planted both feet on the ground. Silence had answered for me when words would have turned into lies or fire. In the end, I didn't win by breaking anything. I won the day I stopped disappearing. If this story of silence, patience, and justice moved you, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Your engagement helps these stories reach more people who need hope. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for being part of this journey.